Hey, BIS 302. Um, I am coming to you live from, well, let me just show you the background. Looks like it's cloudy here, huh? Wait, let me show you where I am, huh? Um, Pretty exposure. Not bad, huh? I am, well, you know, those of you familiar with Arizona know where I am, right? I am now in the dark. There we go. I'm in Sedona, and my keyboard and my tablet is magnetized to the Starbucks table. Sorry about that. Um, okay, this is like a bonus video. A bonus video. I'm not sure. Actually, it's just another video. I am going to reserve the right to put more than seven out because I think as we get closer to the finish line, there are some things that I just make notes about, and I want to tell you about it. And I don't like typing emails. I'm much more attuned to kind of a one-on-one or a one-on 84, or no, one on 70. Who watches these things, right? So let me just get into it, but it's going to be worth 5 points. Any video of mine will be worth 5 points to you, okay? So let's talk about, just generally speaking, the lit reviews. Oh my God, you guys did great, okay? Overall, it was the best group of lit reviews I've ever had, okay? It's probably because I didn't read any of them. Gotcha. No, I did read them. Well, most of them, I guess, but they were really good, okay? Um, the key thing I think I'm really impressed with is you did not use any pronouns. I mean, nobody used I, me. I don't know, did I do that? Anyways, you guys did fabulous. Look at me, I got crumbs all over me. It's a disaster. It's an embarrassment. I might start this thing over. You'll never see it. I just had lunch with a friend up here, and it's really nice up, by the way. So anyhow, all right, so the lit review is great, okay, in terms of scholarly writing. Many of you used so many excellent sources. A couple of you kind of dropped the bomb, and like it was like, I'm going to do everything he said not to do. So you used Forbes, and you used encyclopedias, and you used dictionaries, and you used blogs, and you used, okay. It's okay if you get enough primary sources, but you can't have a research paper rely on these secondary weak sources, okay? So, like I said, I did breeze through them. Okay, one thing I'd like you to remember, I'm not dinging anybody for this, but I'd like you to try to remember to put your last name in your file name as you upload it. Okay, as you save it and upload it. So like I said, Smith, or lit review underscore Smith, whatever. Just so it helps me. Okay, I'm not going to ding you if you don't, but I really appreciate it. Especially then put your name on the paper. Some people don't put their name on the paper or in the file name. Do you understand how risky that is with old instructors with bad eyes? I mean, you don't know. You need to have your name on there somewhere, okay? All right. Italics. Italics is a popular font to use, I guess. So it's not just one, it's more like 10 or 12 people at least. Let's stay away from italics unless it's truly necessary, okay? So please do that. Um, let's see, what else do we got? I'm trying to adjust this thing. Such a weird. I thought we'd have a nice background to use, but can I get that background in? Anyhow, you're not here for the cinematography, are you? Okay, so I'm still obsessed with my. Yeah, I pride myself on my backgrounds. I'll hold this damn thing up. Okay, so whoa. All right. So, anyways, see more of the Red Rock, less of your instructor. Okay, so um, other thing I want to talk about is formatting. Formatting was generally really good. Okay, there's not a lot I can say that. So I get a little clearer here. There's not a lot I can say in terms of uh, that anything was really brutal or anything. Guys did a good job. Just make sure. I mean, I'm trying not to be nitpicky, but if you can do an in-text citation, make sure you put a comma, comma space, like the last name, comma space, page number. I mean, I know that's really micromanaging, but it's the way it's done. You know what I mean? It's the difference of your car being a neutral or drive. No, it's not. All right. So first Easter egg, huh? All right. There it is. First Easter egg out there. I can't point here, can I? Right there. Let's go. Red Rocks. Okay. Red Rocks is the first one, right? Sedona. All right. So now let's also talk about all versus some. Some of you, notice if I would have said, you guys are removing the word some from your questions. Now, the way I say that, it sounds like all of you are removing it. No, because the word some is important, right? So when I was saying when I put it together, what are some of the, okay, and this is true in any part of your paper, anything in research, so particular that when you, if you're talking about, finding certain things out or trying to discover things, trying to discover some of the, some of the, it's really important. It's a little thing again, but trying to get you to think in certain ways. It's more critical thinking. It's more precise. Okay. So when you talk about some, it's not like some versus all. It's some, versus nothing, because nothing means all, I guess, right? Just think of those things as you're reading it. All right. Um, okay. The limitations. I know this is not probably one of the worksheets. I know it was, but one of the I usually give this tip out to everybody. One of the limitations is, I'm not going to be kind of funny and hold up my Fitbit. One of the limitations is steps. No, one of the limitations is time, right? Significant limitation is time in this course. It's almost over. My time is November 2nd here. And I mean, class is over 4 weeks from today at midnight. So time is a huge limitation on this study, okay? Let's see, what else do we have here? Okay, so I wanted to just talk to you about those things. And let me just generally, let me give you a second Easter egg here, okay? God, I'm not ready again with these Easter eggs, okay? So let's just say Sedona, why not, okay? So Sedona, sounds like a lot like the first one, but anyways. All right, so the rest of this video, I think I want to space these out, maybe keep this around 10 and then do another one maybe Monday or something. But talking about the proposal that's coming up, um, it's going to be important because you're going to start getting into significant format issues where it's important not to get dinged. Because if you look at the rubrics of these things, you can see where I can ding you pretty good on the format. But the proposal is going to have a table of contents, okay? You're going to do definitions. By the way, the definitions that you're working on for your paper, these are not, don't use Webster's here. These are not Webster's definitions. In a research paper, when you define terms and everything, this is a place where it allows you as a researcher to define whatever you want to define. Because you know how we define things differently, okay? So, if oh gosh, I wish I could think of an example, right? Okay, I can't. But it'd be something to the fact that, if I'm doing research on cars or vehicles, um, I get to define what I mean by that. I don't mean semi trailers. I don't mean, you know, uh, motorcycles. So you get to define it and how you're going to use your terminology in your paper. Okay. If you come up with a few of those, that's great. All right. So I just want to give you an idea about definitions. Okay. So there are chapters involved. This is the proposal is like your first three chapters of your final paper. But remember, the proposal is written in future tense. You are proposing to do research. Just as if you were going in front of a committee, say, hey, I need 50,000 to get this research done the coming year, and here's my proposal. This is what you're doing. You're proposing research. So it's going to be future tense, all right? Um, you don't need consent forms in this class, okay? Consent forms, consent forms are for suckers. No, they're not. They're really important. Consent forms are if you this is your anonymous surveys. Your surveys are anonymous. Therefore, the mere participation in that survey is consent. Okay, so you don't have to worry about that. You don't have to get fancy with that. Keep it simple. But the appendix of your paper and the proposal should feature your questions for your survey. Okay, almost word for word as it's set up with answer choices and everything. So think of that as you're going. Your survey should go up. Your survey doesn't have to go out. It shouldn't go out. If I'm really being particular, the proposal would come before you sending the survey because you'd be proposing it research before you actually send out the survey to do the research, okay? I'm not going to hold you either way. You can do whatever you want, but the questions should be ready. Whether or not you sent it out, I'm looking the other way. Obviously, we don't have time to keep things sequential and perfection, but you should have the questions in your proposal so the reviewers would know what you're going to be asking, okay? And then review some of the sample papers I have in there, especially quantitative, which almost everyone is. Review the sample proposals and the sample final papers. I'm going to go over those early next week from like 2010, 11, 8, whatever. They're good. It's just because they're old doesn't mean they're not good. I'm old. I'm still good right now. But I'm going to try to find some of the new ones from my previous classes that I really liked, that I always promised I was going to use. I mean, I'll shoot some more at you. But just get some context. What this is going to look like. What does the proposal look like, start to finish? What does the final paper look like? But right now, the proposal is coming up. So you're going to look at that, take your literature review, make the improvements that I might have recommended on you, and then when you use that in your proposal, it's going to increase everything. I'll look at that literature review now as something more solid. And then look at the rubric, okay? I was going through the student view for Module 5 on this, okay? There's a lot of hidden gems in here. If you go to the reading assignment, click on that, you're going to find out that's where there's a research packet for proposals and final papers. There's sample informed consent forms. You don't need those. There's a proposal rubric that'll tell you how I'm grading it. All right, and then there's a quantitative sample and a qualitative, but the quantitative sample of proposal, and then some final paper submissions to give you some context. That's all just in the reading assignment, with which chapter you read chapter 13, as well as for you guys quantitative research, you would read chapter 6 if you haven't done so already. Okay, so you'll see that explained, but that's just clicking on reading assignments. Then when you click on view and listen, you're going to have a 9-minute Adobe presentation on survey instruments and qualitative protocol questions, which we're not really worried about, right? Survey questions, yes. Then you've got proposal peer evaluation form. This is nice because you guys are going to submit my God, by November 7th. You're going to submit your rough drafts of your proposals so that your peers can comment on them. And there's a form for you to comment on 3 of your peers. Use that form and upload that, okay? There is you've got, the proposal due the 7th, that's the rough draft. Then you've got the peer reviews due the 9th. And then you got a couple days again till the 11th to make adjustments, maybe based on some of your peers that you didn't notice or spot, and they can be really helpful with that, okay? So that's it for Module 5. Like I said, I covered more actually than I thought I was on this one, but I wanted to get this out to you guys sooner than later, and we're only at 12 and a half minutes. I'm looking at anything else because I know by the time Monday gets here, Tuesday, I'm going to have a lot of other things to talk about as well. So just let me know, okay, how those surveys are going. Oh, by the way, okay. Uh, 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 what do they call it? Easter egg. Easter egg 3 is surveys. I know it might be a repeat, but who the hell cares, right? Surveys. So if you want to send me the link to your survey, I'll fill it out, man. You'll get a weird 60-year-old guy's interpretation and responses, right? Send it to me. If anybody wants me to post them or send them out in a class email blast, I can do that. Granted, it's going to put you top heavy on, BIS 302 students, but if you need data points, fire them babies. Give me at least send your survey to me. I like taking them. I like to see what you did. If you have trouble with your questions, please give me a holler. All right. And then let's go from there. All right. Talk to you soon. Corks up. It's homecoming weekend, and I'll be here. See ya.